Congressman John Flemming visiting with us here at the Talk of the Town with Ed Walsh over at Channel 3, talking to us about the Town Hall meeting today. You want to come over here, Jonathan? Because the Congressman, you had a lot of things to say today, and not the least of which this very partisan crowd cried out for reform for the taxes.
Americans, and it's just, we had a sample here today, are very angry with what is happening in Washington. They're very frustrated. Washington remains dysfunctional. We have a president who has blamed everyone from President Bush to the tsunami in Japan, and now he blames the problems on bad luck. That is unacceptable to the American people. American people want us to come together, cut spending, create jobs, and get this economy back going again, and get America back to its greatness.
And they're saying, though, why not go ahead and tax the more rich, those people that are billionaires? Warren Buffett just said, hey, I'll be happy to pay more.
Well, again, Warren Buffett is a 40 billionaire. He could be taxed half of his total assets and still have $20 billion. Where taxes really hurt is the middle class and those who are trying to move upward, opening businesses, increasing the size of their businesses, hiring people, and what that does is take away vital capital. So Warren Buffett, I certainly invite him to give part or all of his fortune. This country could use it, but we could confiscate all money from wealthy people in this country and it wouldn't even close the gap on 1 year's deficit in this country. The only way to solve the problem is to cut spending, grow the economy, which will grow revenues because we'll have more taxpayers, because we have more jobs, and that will ultimately solve our problems. It's worked in the past, and it will work again.
Congressman, you had mentioned that there are certain items that need to be cut for this country to survive. What are those items, and what about the fact that you voted against raising the debt ceiling? What type of role does that put you in, or position with House Speaker Boehner these days?
Speaker Boehner, I think, understands that 66 of us had a problem with that compromise. And I think, he himself admits that this was not a good bill. It was just the best he could get because, again, Republicans, conservatives are outnumbered by 2 to 1 in Washington. I didn't per se vote just against the debt ceiling increase. I voted against a bill that would allow it without a commensurate vote and passage of a balanced budget amendment to go to the states for ratification. So I think it's important to understand that I certainly would not support anything that would create chaos in our economy. I wanted our economy to do well, but on the other hand, we have not improved our lot one bit. We have not changed our pathway to a sustainable one for the future.
What do you think is then to blame for the stock market and the fluctuations we saw last week? Is it the lack of a decision on the part of Congress and the Obama administration, or is it just the way that Wall Street is going with everything happening over in Europe?
Well, let's go back to the Standard & Poor's downgrade that occurred, the downgrade. What they signaled to us was you need to pass into law, cut, cap, and balance, which would cut spending by $4 trillion, a serious attempt at getting a balanced budget, and it would require a balanced budget amendment to be passed out of Congress. We could not get the Senate to take it up, and the President vowed to veto it. That's where the problem began. We came up with this lousy compromise bill, and the stock market didn't like it. The S&P downgraded us, and now we have really a situation where our economy is languishing. Our jobless rate remains where it is. That was our opportunity to begin fixing problems, and we missed it.
The Court of Appeals just has overturned the ruling for Obamacare. And do you see that going to the Supreme Court? And do you think that they will uphold the fact that it is unconstitutional?
I 100% believe it will go to the Supreme Court. There's no question about that. I don't know that anybody can adequately predict what the Supreme Court will do on a decision like this. I will tell you this. It is my belief, and I'm convinced more every day, that if Obamacare is not struck down by the Supreme Court by next summer, that by the following January 2013, that we will have a president who will have on his desk as the first bill to sign the repeal of Obamacare. We will have a Senate that will pass it, a House that will pass it, and a president who will sign it. So in my opinion, Obamacare is all but gone at this point.
What about Rick Perry, Texas governor, now has thrown his hat into the ring for the GOP nomination to run for president? What do you think about that?
I think Rick Perry has a strong record. He's a strong conservative. He's had a very successful period in as governor of Texas. I think he would be a wonderful president. Michelle Bachmann is a good friend of mine, a strong titanium spine conservative. I think she would make a great president. And so I think it's just a choice of great candidates that we have out there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you once again. Yeah.
See you, Congressman.
Yeah.
You did good. I'll take